The Tirupati temple, a place of worship for devotees all across India and Hindus all across the world, where the Prasadam, the laddu, holds a special place in the hearts of millions of people who go there every year. The big storm over the alleged use of animal fat, beef tallow, in the Prasadam has left more than just a bitter aftertaste, sparking national outrage and a fiery, angry political showdown. Here's what we know so far.
Huge row over alleged adulterated ghee used in Tirupati Prasadam. National Dairy Development Board's lab test on some samples of cow ghee procured by the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam contained traces of fish oil, beef tallow, lard or pig fat.
It is adulterated with animal fats. So it is lard, which is a pig fat, then palm oil and beef tallow, then fish oil included, rapeseed, linseed and all these things. It's like a concoction of all these.
The temple board statement comes days after Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu at an event meeting claimed that animal fat was used in Tirupati laddus during the previous regime of Jagmohan Reddy.
కావాల్సినటువంటి ముడి సరుకులన్నీ కూడా నాసి రకం వాడడం, అది కాకుండా పవిత్రమైన దేవాలయాల్లో కూడా అపవిత్రమైన ముడి సరుకులు వాడడం, ఇలాంటివన్నీ చేసి కంపు చేశారు.
Later, TDP spokesperson Annam Venkata Rama Reddy held a press conference displaying the lab report which confirmed the presence of beef tallow, fish oil and pig fat in the ghee sample. The centre has sought a report from the Andhra Pradesh government.
जो रिपोर्ट है जिस सोर्स से आई है, उस रिपोर्ट को पूरी तहकीकात करके उसके सारे पहलुओं को ध्यान में रख करके सूटेबल एक्शन विल बी टेकन अकॉर्डिंगली. जो भी कानून के दायरे में और जो भी हमारी नियमावली फूड सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया के तहत आती है, उसके तहत हम इस पर कार्रवाई करेंगे.
Deputy Chief Minister Pavan Kalan called for a Sanatan Dharm board to look into all temple issues and urged a debate on temple management in the country. Jagan's party YSRCP has moved the High Court, accusing Chief Minister Naidu of making heinous allegations for political gains.
Animal fat geek badulu వాడినారని ఇదే పెద్ద మనిషి చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు ముఖ్యమంత్రి హోదాలో ఉంటూ ఒక ముఖ్యమంత్రిగా తాను మాట్లాడిన మాటలివి.
The BJP and Congress has trained guns on Jagan Mohan Reddy, seeking a CBI probe.
उसकी CBI से जांच होनी चाहिए. CBI के जांच के दायरे में आना चाहिए कि कितने रुपए का घी लिया गया, कौन चर्बी का घी क्यों लिया गया, और दूसरा प्रश्न, ये हिंदू धर्म के साथ घोर अत्याचार है.
We are demanding a CBI inquiry into this issue because it is not a small issue. It does not pertain to a small group of people, but to crores of people. We have also written to the Home Minister of India, Mr. Amit Shah, demanding for a CBI inquiry into this matter.
Allegations of adulterated ghee being used to make Tirupati laddus has become a political flashpoint. The state government now faces the challenge of restoring trust among devotees and preventing the situation from escalating to bigger crisis. With Apurva Jayachandran in Tirupati, in Andhra, Bureau Report, India Today.
And the breaking news coming in on this story is that Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister and actor Pavan Kalan has pitched for a national Sanatan Dharm Raksha board. Pavan Kalan says it's time for a national board to manage temples. He's basically blaming the management of temples and the way in which temples have been managed in different parts of the country for what is perhaps happening at the Tirupati Devasthanam in Tirupati, in Tirumala, where the Prasad is alleged to be containing beef fat and other adulterants. Pavan Kalan has lashed out at former Andhra Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy. He says for years, substandard ghee went unnoticed.
Maybe we don't know. Maybe someone is there. Maybe they said, we don't know. But they said people were saying, complaining regularly, the smelling of something which is not the usual Prasad. A lot of times people used to come to me and they said, see what's happening. Maybe you have to put for some kind of lab testing. There are many things, such things. I thought no one would be dare to violate, play with this kind of sentiments. I thought of it, but we didn't give I was looking at other things in TTD. But when this particular issue came, when the new EO came, we looked at it. I said, we want to revive the TTD. Whatever had been TTD, a lot of mismanagement had been done, misappropriation of funds had been done. They started a thing called Srivani Trust. And they don't know what these guys had done under the, I think TTD chairman was Mr. Subbareddy Garu, and EO was Mr. Dharma Reddy. So we have been consistently raising our concerns regarding the quality of Prasad and regarding the functioning of TTD itself. And we are quite hurt, quite in a state of shock. And people have taken it for granted to play that kind of games. Here it is, when people of no commitment and no value and no respect for the sanctity of a temple, and if they take charge, this is what exactly happens. In the name of politicking, they went for some substandard things. And that's the result of it.
So the campaign to free temples from government control has obviously got a very, very powerful boost over the allegations of adulteration of the Tirupati Prasadam with beef fat and fish oil, etc. Temples in government control. Let's show you what the arguments for are. Ensures equality and no discrimination in temples, say those who are pro-government control. Funds not swindled by any group or administration is what they claim. Government ensures upkeep of temples. Now here's what the argument against those who want to free, including Pavan Kalan, who want to free temples from government control. They say no other religious institutions are controlled by the government. So why temples? Funds belong to devotees, not the government. The government is not answerable or accountable on issues of temple maintenance, on quality control of prasadam, like we're seeing in the Tirupati case, and many other concerns that have come to the fore. Let's get some clarity on a complicated and sensitive issues that goes to the heart of the faith of millions of people who visit the Tirupati, Tirumala Devasthanam temples in Tirupati and other parts of the country and the world, and freeing temples from government control in general. Dushyant Sridhar, very well-known Vedic speaker, someone who has commented on this issue as well, joins me live. Dushyant, good evening. Thanks for your time here on India Today and on 5 Live. My first question to you is on the specific case that has made this issue enter the headlines in such an angry way, Dushyant, about the prasadam in the Tirupati temple being adulterated with with beef fat and lard and those kinds of things. Who do you blame for that kind of thing happening? Do you think that government control is at the heart of what has happened here?
Namaskaram, Shiv. Namaskaram to the viewers of India Today. The blame is on all of us, Shiv. Because pinning it on just one person, one government is not enough. All these decades, we have let the government control the temples. This wouldn't have happened to any other community. So we are also partakers. When Bhishma was a mute spectator, when Draupadi was humiliated, he too had to sleep on the bed of arrows. He did no harm to Draupadi, but he was a mute spectator. So are we. We are mute spectators when religious places of worship, especially of the Hindu religion, is under the control of the government. So when it is under the control of the government, such things are bound to happen, not because of the mistrust, because the government has no business to be in temples. Point number one. Yeah. And point number two, some people do raise this issue. Is this about vegetarians and non-vegetarians? Absolutely not. The Constitution gives the right to an individual to choose what they want to eat. This is not about the interference in somebody's food habits. It's about following the rules of this temple, which goes on Vaikhanasa Agama. The Tirupati Tirumala temple, I'm sure your viewers should know that it follows the Vaikhanasa Agama. And Vaikhanasa Agama has a set of principles governing it as to how puja should be done, what prasadam should be done. And there is a document called as Tirumalai Ozhugu, which has been written for the last 1,000 years, stating as to what are the practices, what are the donations given by different kings. It also talks about prasadam. You'll be surprised, Shiv, we can't even use chili. Largely in temples governed by agamas, we can use only pepper. We can't use oil. Such is the intricacy of making prasadam. And here we are seeing that there are traces of fish oil, traces of beef. Is this something which is an orchestrated attack on the religion? Because no person who is true to his or her consciousness would ever want to attack the belief system of another person, fellow citizen in this country. And if this has happened under the watch of the government, this is where the government comes under the control. If it has happened under the watch of the government, then the government should take responsibility rather than the blame game which is happening now. At the end of the day, I'm sure, Shiv, I'm not being pessimistic. Nobody is going to be court-martialed. Nobody is going to be punished.
True.
And Hindus are going to be affected the way they have been affected all these.
No, I share your skepticism as far as, accountability and whether actual change will happen. I'm sorry to say I definitely share your skepticism, Dushyant, on that fact. But just to get, clarify one point, are you saying that you think that, that this is, that there is something insidious about what's going on, something deliberate about what's going on, or could it be some kind of logistical quality control issue, something more mundane? I mean, equally unforgivable, but something more mundane. What do you think?
In chemistry, in the laboratory that any chemistry student handles, there is a process called titration. And no single value endpoint is noted. So there is always something called as a concurrent titer value. So I firmly believe as a student of science that there should be multiple tests and multiple sampling which is to be done. So to even confirm. So if people have a disbelief in a certain laboratory in a certain state, to clear the qualms, I think it can go to another laboratory, another state. But the point is, if going by when we don't trust our very own agencies, then what do we trust on? So if a central agency, which is headquartered in Gujarat, gives you this particular report, at the outset, we have to believe the report, unless and until there is another report which is equally done, which is absolutely diametrically opposite to what is stated in the report. So going by the report, it affects the sentiments of the Hindus. And one more thing that you did ask.
Yes.
In the last 5 years, when the previous government in Andhra Pradesh was in the helm of affairs, there were multiple factual information that were also corroborated, stating about the rise of other places of worship in and around the Tirumala hill. See, again, as a country, I never say that this is the Hindu area, that's a Muslim area. That's not my argument. But going by the very information that we receive, why sudden uprise in the other places of worship? If it is one or two, it is fine. There are reports which suggest there are many. And there were questions also about the declaration given by the previous sitting chief minister, Sri Jagan Mohan Reddy, at that point in time, because he is known to be a person who follows the Christianity as his religion. And it is mandated that a person who comes from another religion should give a declaration that I believe in Venkateshwara, I believe in the temple practices. And I've heard, I'm not sure, the allegations that he has not given such a declaration. So all these do give doubts in the minds of people. I'm not blaming it on one person. Him belonging to another religion doesn't matter to me at all. He's free to practice. But all these questions do raise, and these questions, Shiv, to be very particular, were there since his father's days as well. Sri Rajashekara Reddy's adherence to Christianity and thereby some actions in Tirumala, Tirupati, were also some questions raised. And today when the Prasadam has such a report coming, I'm sure people will want to connect the dots and create a picture out of it. So to make things clear, I feel that there should be a very unbiased probe, probably monitored by a central agency again, or a court, to decide what is really happening. Otherwise, it affects the sentiments of Hindus, because people across the nation and people across the globe visit Tirumala, Tirupati. It is no normal temple that we see in the street corner. It is Tirupati. I can't give an equivalent for other religions. It would be wrong, but this is a very important shrine for Hindus across the world. And if this is the allegation, it does hurt the sentiments.
And you're right, because the very grave charges that are being made, people who are sort of drawing a pattern around the many decisions that have been taken appear to suggest that there is something insidious going on. Jagan Mohan Reddy has officially and categorically denied any of these allegations. He's also put out information into the public domain to support his categorical denial that there was any malified or that this information is actually accurate. This is an ongoing story. It's a story in motion, as I call it. But Dushyant, one final question is, like you rightly said, this isn't no temple is ordinary, but among temples, the Tirupati temple is perhaps one of the most well-known, one of the most regarded in terms of the millions of devotees who visit from all over the world every single day. Given that, and given the seriousness of the what this report brings forward, you cannot think of anything worse for ardent devotees than what this report suggests. And given that, Dushyant, do you think this could be some kind of a tipping point as far as government control of temples is concerned? Or do you think ultimately it'll be a firestorm for a few days and then devout Hindus too will just go back to normal?
Very quickly, you did say about the significance of Tirumala Tirupati. See, in Rigveda, there is a rik. Arai kane vikate girim gaccha sadanve shirim bitasya chebishtve chatayamasi. The very mantra points to the significance of Tirumala Tirupati. So in the Rigveda, this mountain finds mention. There is mention in many Puranas, Tamil ancient literature, all the Kirtanas, plenty of kavya written. So it's an important temple, no doubt.
Yeah.
Coming to, yes, this is going to be, see, 2 weeks back, I was very much at the India Today discussing about the Tiruchendurai temple in Tamil Nadu, which is 1,500 years old, which the Waqf board says it belongs to us. Last week, I was on your very channel discussing about the stone pelting in Ganesh Chaturthi processions.
Correct.
This week, I am talking about the adulteration that is allegedly said to have happened in the Prasadam of the very famous Tirumala Tirupati. Like how there was no action on week 1 and 2, there will be no action on this as well. So we will be meeting on another attack on the Hindu religious beliefs the next week. Till then, I think I have to wait for my conversation with you, Shiv.
Dushyant Sridhar, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us with your insights on this story. Very, very serious. Most certainly no laughing matter. We'll have to wait and see whether it's going to be business as usual, no heads roll, accountability is not fixed, and just the political blame game fires itself off, and then everyone goes back to work. Beef fat, pig fat, fish oil, this is what the holy prasadam at the Lord Venkateshwara temple in Tirumala was allegedly adulterated with. A dairy lab report confirms these adulterants in the ghee, sparking a nationwide controversy. Take a look at the full report.
Beef fat, pig fat, fish oil. This is what the holy prasadam at the revered Lord Venkateshwara temple in Tirumala was allegedly made with. A dairy lab report confirmed the presence of these adulterants in the ghee used to make the prasadam, and it's triggered a nationwide controversy.
We don't have any internal lab to test adulteration in the ghee. And also there is no system of testing the quality of ghee for adulteration in outside labs also. There is no system. We could have explored, we could have done it, it's very easy. The rates are so low that everyone can say, not necessarily an expert, anyone will say that it is a, you cannot get ghee, pure cow ghee, which is offered to Swami at this rate, 320 rupees per kg.
From fish oil, lard to beef tallow. These were some of the ingredients that a shocking report has come out from Tirupati Devasthanams, where we are at. In fact, these reports that have now come out exposes the kind of gaps and glitches that had been going on in the TTD Devasthanams over the last 5 years.
The TDP has cited this report to accuse the YSRCP of hurting the sentiments of lakhs of Hindus. But who supplied the ghee? Allegedly, it was AR Foods based in Tamil Nadu's Dindigul, but they denied all allegations of using animal fat.
This has happened in June, July.
Okay.
And we have supplied not even 0.1 the total requirement of Tirupati.
Okay.
Out of that, they have made a complaint after receipt of 4 tankers they accepted and paid.
Okay.
And the 5th tanker, they gave a complaint and we have challenged it and we have given the counterpart report.
Okay.
And we are also sending the tankers only by testing from reputed NABL lab and certified by the Mark Authority.
So we are denying all charges, sir. There was no mixture
Yes,
of...
already we have denied and we have challenged and it is on the process.
It's not just the TDP. Former priests at the temple are also alleging that there were complaints about the quality of ghee.
Since last 5 years, there has been alterations in the timings of food offerings and the duration of the food offerings. It's my immediate duty to meet the Honorable CM and explain to him about what has been going on and what are the steps to be taken to rectify all these things.
The YSRCP in response has lashed out at TDP, even moving the Andhra High Court, seeking a High Court judge-monitored probe into the charges raised by Naidu. CM Naidu has promised a detailed probe while condemning the use of contaminated ghee in the Prasadam.
కావాల్సినటువంటి ముడి సరుకులన్నీ కూడా నాసిరకం వాడడం, అది కాకుండా పవిత్రమైన దేవాలయాల్లో కూడా అపవిత్రమైన ముడి సరుకులు వాడడం, ఇలాంటివన్నీ చేసి కంపు చేశారు.
The shocking details that have emerged of the adulteration of ghee has led to serious questions of the rot and corruption plaguing Tirupati Devasthanam. With Apurva Jayachandran in Tirupati, Bureau Report, India Today.